Hi there and welcome. It's your favorite color coordinator, me. My art isn't really abstract. I do the occasional foray into line art experimentation, but I always stay in my comfort zone. I decided that I needed to practice blobs and colors and what's more blobby and colorful than galaxies. This is a volume I picked out from my local library's nonfiction section after 45 minutes of clawing through historical narratives in raw food cookbooks. Today's exploration is a mini, condensed, chopped up version of my process for fashion illustration. Usually there's research, mood board, color palette, preliminary sketches, final lineup, etc. To test my limits, I'm choosing the imagery and language that strikes me the most and digesting the colors, shapes, and patterns I observe, after which I'll create a singular final illustration from what I've gathered. We are trapped on a planet orbiting a star that itself is orbiting our Milky Way, filled with stars and gas and dust, and at its heart, a huge black hole. Now, tell me why this book is dropping the most poignant poetry about our home galaxy. I crowed. Sometimes I forget that our very existence is but a blip in the storyline of the universe. It's technically insignificant, but we provide significance to our lives by being a friend, being a creator, being a laugher at jokes, a savorer of good food, a listener of music, by being human. I think it's so special. Unless you mine cryptocurrency, then let's consider getting a hobby. Anyway, what I liked about these galaxy images were their colors. The softness, the way they flowed. They're almost jellyfish-like, sitting like a big pudding in a sea of dark syrup. The general structure of a galaxy consists of a bright circular core from which waves or cloudy nebulous masses extend. Then, the little stars sit next to them, glinting away. Me, personally, I'm a big star enthusiast. Stars are probably my number one motif to draw. The final illustration is an amalgamation of the details I learned through my doodles. I embraced the abstract nature of the galaxies through the curves and blended gradients. I created a center, that core we were talking about, in the middle of the figure's back, from which angel wing-like tendrils extend. The veil, which you'll see, is almost like if you took a galaxy, shrunk it, squashed it, and draped it over her head. I don't really know what that means either exactly. Space seems like a lonely place, so there's a bit of a melancholy air to her pose, despite the swirling brightness. It's like an acceptance that time will continue on despite our best efforts. I gave her a bob, because I have a bob now. Nothing too profound about that. I ended up really liking the colored pencil texture on the mixed media paper. It gave everything a grainy, soft look. Also, design win. The pencils themselves had little foil stars stamped onto them. What else should we talk about before we jump into the life update segment? Well, maybe you noticed I made my color chart for these pencils on a personal identification fingerprinting document. I won't be taking further questions at this time. Okay, I'm going to be so honest. All I've been doing is watching Severance, looking forward to watching Severance, listening to podcasts about Severance, or thinking about Severance. I'm writing this voiceover while Severance theme song 8-hour loop is playing. I actually haven't felt so enamored by a TV show ever. I actually will spare you the details, but it's worth a watch. In other news, I'm posted up at the ice rink every Saturday for my figure skating lessons. This past week, I taught myself crossovers and improved my 2-foot spin. And on that note, I'll be seeing everyone at the 2026 Olympic Games. Also, if I sound nasal, it's definitely because I'm fighting off a sickness that I probably got from a customer who told me at the end of our interaction, "Oh, I'm sick, by the way. By the way, you needed to buy 3 thongs from a retail establishment while you're ill? I'm begging you to go home and suck down a noodle soup and stay there." On a more serious note, these days I'm grappling with grief. Friends scattering, time passing, childhood memories dug out of their homes deep within my mind. There are a lot of things I'm not handling very well, but there are times when I press a colored pencil onto paper and I think that there is nothing, no grief, no hurt that can take away this love I have for creation. And so I think we are so lucky to be here.